Hello guys, I hope you all are doing good. I am Vaishali Kikan and we are discussing the optical communication. Today in this video, we are going to talk in detail about the fundamental receiver operation, and after that we are going to talk about the sources of noise or the noise sources. So let's start our discussion with the fundamental receiver operation. How the receiver is operating, what are the various blocks in the receivers, because receivers are more complex as compared to the transmitters. In the transmitters we have LEDs or the lasers which are providing the light energy in related to the input signal. So if I have any input signal, let's suppose this is my input signal, so light source or LED or a laser, what it is going to do, it is going to give me the same signal in the optical pulses. So it is going to convert the electrical signal into the optical signal. So this is the basic operation of the transmitter, right? But now if I talk about the receiver is going to get a distorted signal, it is going to get a weak signal, because we are transmitting this signal over a long optical fibers. We are having various splicing losses, various coupling losses as well. So now when all losses are combined, we are getting a weak signal and a distorted signal at the receiver. So now we have to make a decision based upon this weak and the distorted signal. So we have to design a receiver such that it is able to detect this signal. So the receiver structure or designing is more complex because it has to deal with a weak and distorted signal. So we are using mostly digital signals over here. So digital signals, we all know it can be represented by two levels, either by 0 or by 1, right? So digital signals are used, we are using two level binary data stream of 0 or 1, right, volt. So now here we have 0 or 1 volt of TB duration. So every bit can be represented by the TB bit duration. So let's suppose this is my data, this is my data. So now for the data, for every 0 pulse I am giving the TB duration, for every 1 pulse I am giving the TB duration. So this is how for every 0 and every 1 I am giving the TB duration for the given input signal. So the digital signal is not supplied as it is. We are first providing modulation to the digital signal. We all know what is modulation. Modulation is superimposing of the given signal on the carrier so as to increase its frequency, its range, right? So we are using the various modulation schemes which are digital, like here we can basically use the ASK. ASK is the most simplest type of modulation scheme which can be used over here. Now the transmitters are converting the electrical signal to the optical signal. So the transmitters are basically LEDs or laser. So if I talk about the coherent transmitter, it is laser. Incoherent transmitter, LEDs, right? So we have already talked about both of them in detail, right? After that we are going to get the optical signal as the optical pulses, right? So these optical pulses have to be coupled inside the optical fiber. We are launching this light inside the optical fiber, and now this fiber could be of many types. We will be having single mode fiber, we will be having the multi-mode fiber, right? So the single mode fibers are used for the long distance communication, whereas the multi-mode fibers are used for the short distance communication, because there are a lot of dispersion losses in the multi-mode fibers, whereas in the single mode fiber dispersion losses would be less, right? So now when the signal transmit through the optical fiber, it is going to get a lot of losses, like I already told you, dispersion losses would be there, then the launching losses would be there. This light has to be launched inside the optical fiber, and this light is a 3D radiation, this spherically symmetric radiation, right? So we have to provide this spherically symmetric radiation inside the optical fiber, where we will be having some launching losses. After that These optical fibers are various optical fibers which are connected for the long distance communication. At the connection point we will be having some splicing losses as well, and after that, so here the light goes inside the optical fiber and it moves. So when it moves inside the optical fiber, it will be encountering a lot of losses, and due to which attenuation and distortion will be taking place. The signal from this shape, it is going to turn into this shape. It has become attenuated, it has become distorted, it has become weak now, right? So now this signal is fed to the receiver. In the receiver we have a photodetector. Photodetector we can use either pin type of photodetector or avalanche photodetector. We can use any one of them, so both of them are going to give me the output. If I am using avalanche photodetector, we are going to get the amplified output, or if I am using the pin photodetector, I am not getting the amplified output. So now here we are getting electrical current pulses plus photodetector noise is also added. Now here you can see we already had the attenuated and the distorted signal. Now here I am also again adding the photodetector noise as well. So this signal is now again very much attenuated, and now it is sent to the amplifier and the filter. Amplifier and filter is used to increase the amplitude of the weak signal, and the filter is used to remove the high frequency noises, right? So noise always and always they occupy the high frequencies or very low frequencies. We can remove a lot of noise with the help of filters, right? So now this is how our voltage pulses will be looking like after it is getting amplified and filtered. So these are the voltage pulses. Now after that we are sending it to the decision device. Decision device based upon the threshold value. If the signal is having the threshold value above than this, let's suppose this was the VTH, if at the measurement time, if the signal value is having higher value, we are annotating it to 1. If it is having lower values, we are annotating it to 0, right? Here also, here we are giving 0 because the signal value is lesser than the threshold value. Here at this point I will be denoting it with 1. So this is how the decision circuit and the pulse generator is making the decision, and according to the decision it is going to generate a pulse. Now this pulse is generated which is going to the signal processing equipment. So this is how, this was our input signal and this is our constructed signal. So I hope you understood the basic receiver operation. The basic receiver operation can be combined with the help of these 4 blocks. Here we have the pin or avalanche photodiode. After that we have the various amplifiers and the filter, decision circuit and the pulse regenerator and the signal processing equipment. So now here at all of the places the receiving action is happening. So this is a fundamental receiver operation. So now coming to the error sources. In this process a lot of errors are encountered. So this is a signal which is fed to the photo detection. So here we will be having the quantum noise. I hope you remember the quantum noise. The quantum noise was present due to the random nature of the falling of the light on the photodetector. Then we have the dark current which is present as the outcome of the photodetector even if we don't have any light falling on it. So even in the darkness we are generating some current which is a dark current. Then we have the background beat which is coming from the incoherent carriers. After that we have the avalanche gain. Due to the avalanche gain also we are going to have some random noise, because the avalanche gain is also random in nature. The gain that we are generating depends upon the electric field, and based upon the electric field in the gain region how many electrons can be generated, how many new carriers can be generated. So this is also random process. Then we have detector load bias. Here we are going to generate the thermal losses. So here we will be having the thermal losses. Then we have the electronic gain. The electronic gain we have the thermal losses due to the input resistance. Input resistance is providing the thermal losses. Then we have the device losses due to the active elements which are providing the gain inside the device. So this is the device losses. Then we have the surface leakage current due to the irregularities and due to the defects present on the surface. So I hope you understood each one of the things that I have discussed in this video. If you have any doubt, you can put the doubt in the comment and I will be trying to resolve your doubt as soon as possible. available. I hope you like this session. If you like it, please push the like button, subscribe to the channel, share it with your friends and give me your feedback. Thank you so much.